If you have broken some vicious cycle of your generational trauma, you too are a counterculturist against the most radical rebellion you'll ever participate in, the one that happens quietly inside you. If you think about it, every family is its own microculture, with its own subtle language, rituals, emotional rules, hierarchies, punishments, secrets, survival behaviors. While some pass down love, others pass down trauma as a crown jewel. If your family normalized silence, people pleasing, suppression, explosive anger, emotional neglect, gendered expectations, and so much more, you grew up in a culture, but without a say in which culture you wanted to grow up in. When you choose differently, it actually scales bigger, beyond just disobedience. That's counterculturism. One not so small step for you, one life changing inspirational leap because of you for every single person coming after you. Historically, countercultures formed when the dominant system harmed people. The Romantics rejected industrialization, the Bohemians rejected materialism, the Harlem Renaissance rejected racial erasure. You are rejecting the generational system that didn't protect you. Your ancestors may have coped with their pain through silence because they had no other tools. Did they show the awareness and responsibility to keep that pain from being an heirloom? Or could they? Every small act creates a butterfly effect. When you go to therapy, when you pick boundaries that nobody in your family understands, when you sit with yourself instead of doubling down, when you say, I'm not repeating this pattern, even something as small as saying, not today, I'll do that tomorrow, you are healing. You're also rebelling, stopping something mid-bloodline that without your self-awareness would have continued for another 100 years. What is called weakness is actually the biggest act of resistance against the system. That's counterculture in the rawest form. Choosing the unfamiliar truth over familiar harm. Choosing emotional literacy in a family that feared feelings. Choosing to break and rebuild instead of bend and reabsorb. Choosing to raise the next generation differently than you were raised. Choosing to bury the shame that wasn't yours and leave it a final flower of goodbye. This is the part that people forget. You're not just healing yourself, you're creating a new culture from scratch. One where expressing needs isn't disrespect, but liberty. Where rest isn't laziness, but tranquility. Where no isn't betrayal, but priority. Where emotion isn't weakness, but serenity. Where self-worth isn't conditional, but certainty. Where peace isn't luxury, but centrality. Through this counterculture movement, you could be becoming the first safe person in a lineage that learned to survive by shrinking. The first voice in a bloodline that was subdued by the bloodline itself. You may even be becoming the first one to choose love without the hate that carried it. Through that, you pay homage to the ancestors who wanted to raise their voice in the sheer absence of one. That is counterculturism at its most intimate scale. I will not talk to my child the way my parents talked to me. I will not bury it like I was taught to. I will not do it. I will not. If you have broken some vicious cycle of your generational trauma, you too are a counterculturist against the most radical rebellion you'll ever participate in, the one that happens quietly inside you. Be gentle with yourself.